Hi guys, just wanted to give you a quick guide on the fastest way to farm the Wave of Light. So I'll just sort of run through the core items and what you're going to want to do to farm them the quickest. So first things first, as with basically all farms, you're going to want to farm these top three parts first. Reason being, they have a 2-hour craft time, whereas the code doesn't need crafting. So what you do is you'll farm up these, you'll get them crafting, and that will give you 2 hours to go out and farm the code. And that can just save you a little bit of time all in all. So for the first part, the polymer. This is a bit of an odd one where the common and easy modes are actually the better drop chance at 38% drop chance rather than 32 for the hard mode, and so you're going to want to ignore all of the hard mode difficulties here. And of the two easy modes, you're actually going to want to go for pattern 48. So the reason why you want to go for pattern 48 is when it comes to the common or easy mode outpost missions, you actually get a double drop chance. So you can see here, if you just do the outpost mission normally, you have a 20% chance at pattern 48. But if you scroll down, you also have a 20% chance to get another one if doing it with Sharon. And so of course I'd advise doing it with Sharon, as with pretty much all of the outpost missions. And if you're wondering, the 5 to 20%, basically that it depends on how many of the sort of generators that you hack. So if you hack them all, you get toward that 20%, so make sure you hack them all. And so when it comes to easy or normal mode, it's actually more efficient to do outposts because of the double drop. Whereas with the normal mode amorphous materials that come from the sort of dungeon missions, you can't mess around with the difficulty settings to get double drops. So you want to avoid the sort of dungeon, intercept, battle amorphous materials and always go for the outpost related ones. And then on top of that, for pattern 48, because it's easy mode, it uses a lot less shards than hard mode, and on top of that it uses monomer as the primary and inorganic as a secondary, and so by far the fastest shard to farm is monomer. And where you want to farm that is you'll go to Fortress, you'll do this on hard mode, and you go here, and what you do is you'll use Bunny, and to be honest there'll probably be 4 people there anyway, with some of which you will be using Bunny, and you're actually getting both monomer as the primary and inorganic as a secondary, so it's perfect for that pattern 48. And this can be done in around about 20 or so seconds depending on your bunny build or the people's bunny builds that you're playing with, so nice and quick. And for the second part, the fibre, it's back to normal. You're going to want to avoid the common mission because it only has a 15% drop chance for the item, and of the 3 hard modes you're going to want to avoid pattern 120 because that for some reason only has a 10% drop chance, and then of the 2 you're actually going to want to go for pattern 63. And so the reason why you want to go for pattern 63 is the reactor uses, similar to the previous pattern 48, it uses monomer as a primary and inorganic as a secondary. And so again, monomer by far the fastest shard to farm for, and the best place to farm monomer also gives you inorganic as a secondary. So just to show you that again, you'll go to Fortress and you'll go down here, and this is the sort of bunny farm as it's been called because bunny is by far the best character to use here, and again you get monomer and inorganic. And then for the next part, the tube, it's back to having it where the common modes are actually the better drop chance. So the common modes give you a 38% drop chance, whereas the hard modes give you only a 32. So avoid the hard difficulty modes. You're going to want to go for pattern 39, and the reason is that Pyromaniac is just going to be an easier boss overall than Hangman. Even though at this point Hangman is very easy to do, you just have to do it in a public lobby. You can't do it solo, so just go for Pyromaniac and you're only really relying on yourself that way. And then for the last part of the code, you want to go for pattern 76. So the reason why you want to go for pattern 76 as opposed to the others is that the common mode only has a 6% drop chance, whereas the hard modes have a 32% drop chance. And you want to go for pattern 76 because it involves doing the Devera boss fight, and Devera is just by far the quickest hard mode intercept boss to kill. There's a ton of builds out there that can kill it in under a minute, whereas all in all Pyromaniac takes a little bit longer, and Frostwalker, whilst it has been made a little bit easier, it's still going to be more difficult than Devera, and Gluttony is still more difficult than Devera as well. So just stick with pattern 76. And on top of that, the dungeon mission that gives you pattern 76 has a sort of similar completion time as pattern 87 AA anyway, so just go for the mission that has the easier boss in pattern 76. And so for the pain point items, they're not actually too bad in this case. So you've got the negative ion particle, it's just simply 3 encrypted storage boxes. And so I just recommend hopping on Enzo and then go out and find some encrypted vaults. For the next part, the positive ion particle, so what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to go on hard mode, and it's going to be this commanding ground mission here. So right here in Agna Desert, it's nice and simple. It's just one of those missions where sort of a zone spawns in a circular zone, enemies spawn in, you'll kill them, and the yellow health bosses within that mission are what drop these parts, so you can get it done nice and quickly. And then for the last pain pot item, the coil metallic foil, again just 3 encrypted storage boxes, so just hop on Enzo and you'll get this done in no time. So yeah, I hope that helps. Thanks.